IVM.
In 2019, you basically have two choices. You can either go for therapy or start your own podcast. I'm Natasha Malpani Oswal, and this is my personal diary. I wrote a very honest poetry book called Boundless this year, where I poured my deepest and darkest fears into the poems. I'll take you through some of my favorite poems and the secrets behind them in this podcast. We explore falling in love, the dark side of beauty, families, money, making room to make mistakes, heartbreak, and finding your own voice. Don't say I didn't warn you. It gets deep. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of seeing yourself from a distance. Nomad. For years, I had no home, unable to rest. I was looking for myself. Immigrant. I don't fit into your neat little boxes of class, status. You struggle to place me in your well-rounded circles. For once, my hometown, school, family name do not resonate. Am I wild? Can I be tamed? Silently, I enjoy your polite discomfort. I choose to remain anonymous. I won't play, but I am well versed in this game. I'm going to admit something to you guys. I was the worst kind of South Bombay kid. I grew up in Colaba, and for the first 20 years of my life, I almost never left town. Everything I needed was in my little radius. Even my school and college were both 15 minutes away from my house. Now, this might be why a lot of people hate South Bombay people. But then when I decided to move to Oxford, the biggest shock was realizing that I wasn't going to have my groceries delivered to my doorstep. This was obviously in the pre-Swiggy days, and I needed to walk places. There were days I only ate toast because I couldn't bear the thought of leaving my warm dorm, walking out in the cold, getting some bread and coming back. I had no idea how small and sheltered my life was before I left. But now that I've been away from India for 10 years, I always cringe when I think of how protected my life was. I've now moved 10 times in 10 years. And I've promised myself I won't let myself get so comfortable again. I think it's so important to leave your comfort zone, to make room for growth. I think you have to create distance to see yourself from a distance. When you start again, you have to create a new foundation. You meet people who don't know anything about you and your life. What do they see when they see you? I think you need to create enough space to think, to be able to question everything you've been taught, so that you are free to make your own choices. I'd say, promise yourself that you'll move once. You don't have to move countries, or states, or even cities. Just promise yourself that you will challenge yourself and leave your zone of comfort. The benefits of changing your surroundings are well documented. It makes you more empathetic, resilient, and flexible. The more you adapt, the more open-minded you become. I mean, just look at the statistics in the US, right? More than 50% of all Fortune 500 companies were started by first or second generation immigrants. There must be a reason. But also, forget caring about other people or challenging yourself. I think even better, when you move, you're given a blank slate. You can decide who you want to be. You basically get to erase your mistakes and start again. You decide who you want to be friends with, where you want to live. And then you begin to see there are no rules. You can create yourself. Do you know who you are? Switch it up. If you don't, it's never too late to change. And I'll let you in on a little secret. Once you embrace change, it's almost addictive. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to reach out to me, I am Natasha_Malpani on Twitter and at Natasha Malpani Oswal on Instagram. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Satyajit.
Hi, I'm Racheta.
We are from the Open Library Project and we host a podcast called Paperback.
Paperback is a podcast where we engage with stalwarts and experts from various industries, suggesting non-fiction titles that contributed to their journey in a big way.
We've had guests like Anjali Raina, Dr. Marcus Rani, Dr. Swati Lodha, Ambi Parmeswaran, Apurva Damani, and many more on our show Paperback. Find new episodes every Wednesday on IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.